welcome back to Property Focus, the show that shows you the most fascinating properties in the market and the latest in property market insights. Now, whether you're a developer, you're an architect or contractor, you're curious to find out how artificial intelligence can just help the building construction industry. Well, join us as we unpack that today. This is Property Focus. My name is Peter Ngigi.
Hi, my name is Florence Nyole. I'm the president of the Architectural Association of Kenya, and I'm happy to be here. I also practice as an architect with EcoSpace Architects Limited and as an environmental designer.
Brilliant. So we're looking at artificial intelligence and how it's improving construction industry in terms of efficiency and safety. Tell us about that.
So, the construction industry is one of the most manual industries that we have here in Kenya, and especially in East Africa. But one of the things you must know also is that apart from construction, the design process is heavily digitalized, and we have BIM, and people are already using augmented reality. However, the advent of AI is here to actually help us to change things. AI is able to go through large data sets and enable people to make quick decisions and to analyze weather patterns to make their projects a little bit more predictable. And that's very important for project management under all circumstances. Also, we are looking at improving efficiency on site. You can also help to improve monitoring of safety on site. For instance, if the people on site are putting on PPE, you should be able to monitor that using Internet of Things, where they have little, gadgets that are, stuck either on their helmets or on their garments as they're moving in and out of sight. This can also help you to understand where are people at any time, and also to predict, let's say, for instance, accidents that have happened in the past within a site, and to be able to understand what measures one should be able to take on site to improve safety. And one of the biggest things when it comes to construction is the issue of cost. AI is able to actually pull through a lot of data and to help us analyze costs of materials, cost of construction, whether it comes to labor, and even just basically the cost of the entire construction project, even when it comes to project financing in all its aspects, whether somebody is taking a mortgage or they're doing a PPP, what is important in terms of costing out a project, and therefore we're able to predict what is important for us to consider when you're looking at the costs of a project. Last but not least is to say that AI can help us be a bit more efficient on site. You're able to actually predict delays and to reduce delays. For every delay on site, it means a little bit more money, and so you're able to save a bit of money when you try and use the AI and the Internet of Things to help you monitor the things that you're doing on site.
Very well answered. In terms of affordable housing, how is technology helping in that regard?
I think so. Technology is here to help us. I think we need to start looking at housing, not as just four walls, but also improving the lives of the people who live in those four walls at the end of the day. Technology is here to help us build a bit better and to build a bit faster. We're in the age of thinking about sustainability. So the materials we use also need to be sustainable or even reusable as much as possible, even when they reach the end of life cycle. And so technology can help us to, one, build faster. For instance, with the advent of AI, we can actually start using AI to help us to do 3D printing of houses. We already have that technology in Kenya through one of our partners called 14 Trees. But we also need to look at things like aluminium formwork, which helps one to actually quickly put together a house in exactly 7 days and move on to the next one. As long as you have your skeleton up, other people can come do the finishes, and then you progress and do other projects. They say that if you use a project like that, you'll make a quick return on investment, especially when you're doing a large-scale project like affordable housing. Technology is also important in the sense that we also need to look at the use of local materials, and with AI we're able to actually predict how these materials will behave in the near future. Like, for instance, the use of compressed earth blocks, which is very well touted as a sustainable material, sometimes may wear out with time due to weather. How can we make that material more durable and more sustainable at the end of the day? There are many other materials that are being prompted out there. There's twist blocks, there's on-site ICF, which is some sort of like a styrofoam type of technology that can help people to actually build better. Now, if you can incorporate all these items and then use the AI to see how these materials will actually function in the near future. That's good. But also AI can help us to design better. Remember, as soon as you prompt AI, it can give you several modules and several iterations of a project at a very, at a quick pace, as opposed to what a normal human being would be able to do, whether on their, the usual computer-aided design or using BIM. And so we're able to actually make decisions about housing a little bit faster and make predictions around the sizing of the housing, the outlook of the format of the house at the end of the day. And that decision making that can be done quickly through AI can help us to also move faster in getting us to have what you call optimized designs at the end of the day. So I think overall, if we embrace technology and then incorporate AI, we should be able to produce more affordable housing, but at the same time housing that's efficient and effective and then meets the today's needs for housing at the end of the day.
Super. Brilliant. Last question. In terms of regulations, is there anything that needs to change to accommodate technology?
Many things need to change. First and foremost, I think our curriculum as a start needs to change. What we're being taught in school today needs to actually change, because we need to embrace that we are now in the technology era, and a lot of the information that we are being taught in school might almost be readily available and might already be available through AI. And so you find even the way people are responding to the challenges that they're given in school could be a little bit different than maybe what I used to have during my time in school. And so we need to look at, overhauling our curriculum to incorporate AI. When it comes to now regulations in the industry, we don't yet have anything that's regulating, let's say, technology, for instance. The materials that we're beginning to use, then there's no regulation around it. Sometimes these materials are being referred to as temporary materials, yet they're sustainable. They form permanent buildings at the end of the day, and so we need regulation around the same. We also need to think about regulating professionals who have emerged in the recent past, like architects, engineers, planners, and quantity surveyors are regulated very well in the market. However, there's a gap when it comes to landscape architects, when it comes to interior designers, construction project managers. These are courses that have been taught for almost 20 years at the universities, but yet do not have a place in the market because we've not been able to define them. And so regulating them is also very good at the end of the day. I think also the government needs to regulate around the use of technology, which is important. Like, for instance, the approval processes across Kenya continue to be largely manual. Can you imagine we're still printing blueprints to date and submitting them to some county governments, which doesn't make sense, especially in a country that's, tech forward like Kenya. We should be embracing our technology as much as we can. In fact, at AAK, we've been touting this idea of a one-stop shop, where every single approval is under one umbrella system, and then we're able to actually do approvals a little bit faster. And with the use of AI, with the use of BIM, with the use of GIS, we should be able to have a very robust approval system that can help us to, first of all, approve these buildings more efficiently, but at the same time have this really large record of information that can help us to even, have some form of data mining to help us to make decisions in the future, like where there'll be flooding, where there's disaster, what we need to do in the future, how our city is growing, and so on and so forth. I think for now, there's so much that we can say about the regulatory space, and there's a big gap, and I think the government needs to look into this particular area.
What do you plan to achieve with this function?
So today we are launching the Status of the Built Environment, which is a report that we've been launching every year since 2017. We used to do it every half year, but we noticed that the data we're collecting probably needs a little bit more time, and so we're now doing it every year. What you're trying to do is to create this database, perhaps on the 10th year, and to say how has the industry in Kenya been growing, because this is very important for us. But also we want to see how is our industry behaving. We know very well that the economy of our country depends heavily on an industry like construction. And so to what extent has it grown? How much more expensive has it become to actually do construction? What are the trends around urbanization, around housing, around technology? Like, for instance, this year we've had a very big issue on flooding. We want to highlight that. So what we want to achieve with this particular Status of the Built Environment is to let the public know that this is the status where we're at. We did one last year and we're doing one again this year. But beyond that, we're doing a baraza where we're bringing together all the professionals and discussing the matter of self-regulation and also looking at it to have a more cohesive built environment. And that's what we're doing today. And obviously at the end of this particular session, we'll go wine and dine and recap on what we've been doing throughout the year under the President's dinner.
I like that part.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much
for coming onto the show.
Thank you so much.
Good.
Okay.
Super. Brilliant. Now, that was Florence Nyole, President of the Architectural Association of Kenya, who's just doing impeccable work for the industry. We're going to take a short commercial break. When we're back, more on the event that took place this Thursday. Stay tuned. The launch event of the Status of the Built Environment report, spearheaded by Florence Nyole, the president of the Architectural Association of Kenya, marked a significant milestone in the ongoing tradition of the AAK. This report, initiated in 2017, reflects the organization's commitment to evaluating and enhancing sustainable architectural practices and innovative construction methods. The event centered around the theme AI in construction, highlighting the intersection of technology and sustainability in the built environment. Keynote addresses were delivered by several prominent figures in the field, one of them being Jerry Simu, the chairman of the Affordable Housing Fund, shared insights on international benchmarks, drawing parallels between sustainable practices in the UK and Taiwan and here in Kenya. His analysis provided a broader context for the report, illustrating various matrices of sustainability in housing and urban development.
Just having seen that report, which I think is again very timely, I think we have an opportunity to have a conversation with this new organization. There is that saying that you're either some days you're a pigeon, some days you're a statue. And I think you know what I mean when I say the pigeon, what it does to basically you can end up receiving the drop-ins. But we also have an opportunity to be, to have set what the future looks like, because we influence, we have the ability to influence how the future developments are going to be undertaken. And hopefully an opportunity to have statues of some of those people. So I see an opportunity for the professional industry to thrive as the opportunities come about from this affordable housing program.
Sharma Kiteme, the president of the Institution of Engineers of Kenya, emphasized the crucial role of engineers in implementing sustainable practices, underlining the need for collaboration between architects and engineers to achieve enhanced sustainability outcomes.
And part of what we are doing today is to educate ourselves. We cannot run away from the facts. We must face the facts and we must deal with them. So thank you very much, and I really want to allow AAK. I want to mention AAK produces infrastructure report card, which talks about roads, airports, water infrastructure, and stuff like that. Soon, Madam President, I'll give you a copy of the last report you have produced. And so I want to assure you that we're together in this, and we want to appreciate you for the leadership you have provided in this space and join you together today as you launch the SPE. Thank you very much.
Quantity surveyor Haron Nyakundi, chairman of the Joint Building Council, also took to the stage, reinforcing the theme of doing the right thing in construction. His perspective highlighted the necessity for integrity in cost management and resource allocation to ensure that sustainable practices are not only beneficial but also economically viable. Seasoned architect Juma Oino further explored the significance of integrating classical building techniques with modern practices, examining how traditional architectural designs can inform contemporary construction methods. This integration ensures that new buildings are not only aesthetically pleasing, but also environmentally sustainable and culturally relevant.
This is a fish market in Sydney. I'm sure all of us would want to just to go there and visit, just to take a walk. The previous ones, I'm not so sure. Next, our civic buildings produced by analog technology, identity, placemaking, iconism.
In conclusion, the launch of the Status of the Built Environment Report was not only a celebration of sustainable architectural practices, but also a pivotal moment for collaboration across disciplines in Kenya's construction industry. The insights shared by industry leaders highlighted the urgent need for innovation, integration of technology, and ethical practices in building sustainable environments. As participants engaged in meaningful dialogue and exchanged ideas, it became evident that the path forward lies in the collective efforts of architects, engineers, surveyors, and other stakeholders. Overall, the event served as a platform also to network and have knowledge shared, emphasizing the importance of interdisciplinary collaboration in addressing the challenges of sustainable construction in Kenya and beyond. Well, thank you for joining us at that insightful seminar on just technology and how it's impacting the real estate industry. I think it's crucial that technology is embraced in order for this sector to grow. Well, this has been most insightful. I've thoroughly enjoyed myself. My name is Peter Ngigi. Thank you for keeping it property focused.